We just sailed through the Chilean fjords, glacier walls, the Andes Magellan Strait, waterfalls, silent beauty that is literally indescribable, when the ocean gives way to our first port in Chile. We're in Chile! So excited to step foot in Chile. This special city climbs the hills, spills down alleys, and wears color around every single corner. Lots and lots and lots of color everywhere. Where are we? I'm glad you asked. We're in a very special first stop in Chile in Valparaíso. It's so cool. It should be called Color Paraiso. Yeah, you just wait. I gotta show it to you. Let's go. So come on already, let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Leslie, and I kind of love to see the world. It's my thing. I have seen 82 countries. I'm in pursuit of the Traveler's Century Club to hit 100 countries in my lifetime, and I'm gonna do it with you. So today we're hitting Chile, and I'm glad you're here. Valparaiso sits on the Pacific coast of central Chile. It's our first steps in Chile and Royal Caribbean's first time docking at this port. It isn't just a city. The entire city is designated as an UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a place where history, chaos, and creativity all tangle together on these hills, making it unlike anywhere else in the world. Speaking of hills, Valparaiso is built over a dozen of them, or some say 42, but apparently it depends on who's counting. The city feels both chaotic and poetic. Staircases cut straight into the slopes, houses stacked like blocks, funiculars or ascensors climbing steep tracks that you'll swear were impossible. And I'll show you that in real time here in a second. As our ship enters the bay, we could already feel the energy this great city was about to share with us. Valparaiso was officially founded in 1536 by Spanish conquistador Juan de Saavedra, who named it after his hometown in Spain. But its true rise came much later. In the 19th century, before the Panama Canal existed, Valparaiso was a crucial port for ships rounding Cape Horn and transiting via the Straits of Magellan. So speaking of Cape Horn and the Straits of Magellan, that is a good segue to remind you to go back and watch the Cape Horn and Ushuaia video, because that's a whole Drake Passage area that you don't want to miss. And sailing through the Chilean fjords. I have no words to describe that. Just go watch the video. Valparaiso is called the Jewel of Pacific and drew waves of European immigrants. That prosperity left deep cultural fingerprints here. Latin America's first volunteer fire department, the continent's oldest Spanish language newspaper, the El Mercurio de Valparaíso, and Chile's first public library all trace their roots here. Then the Panama Canal opened. In 1914, it opened and diverted maritime traffic away from Valparaiso. The port here's importance waned, wealthy families moved out, and the city slipped into a decline for decades. The last 20 or 30 years, something changed. Artists moved in, murals exploded, preservation efforts took hold, and the city rediscovered its soul. Yay! This city is a living canvas, like literally. Murals and street art are a political protest, personal stories, and a community rebirth. One striking project is this one in Sierra Mariposa. They held the world's first wine graffiti festival, pairing winemakers and street artists to paint wine-themed murals, which makes me think, where was I? Like wine and murals. I love street art and I love wine. That would have been perfect for me. I didn't even know Valparaiso even existed before we got here, so there's that. But I would have loved that. Every alley, stairway, and shadow glows with street art. This color isn't just decorative either. It's defiance, memory, and identity. To navigate the steep terrain, Valparaiso had many funiculars or ascensors that are inclined lifts that climb the hills. At one time, there were 28 of them. This is Ascensor Concepcion. It opened on December 1st, 1883, making it the oldest of Valparaiso's ascensors, and now is even a National Historic Monument in Chile. The rail length is about 226 feet, and it rises 47 meters above the lower station. It has a 46-degree steep incline, and it holds 7 passengers. That takes about 45 seconds to get from the upper station to the lower station, or vice versa. These lifts are like traveling through time. One they use every day here, but reminiscent of the bygone era for us, creaking cables, and it was just such an experience. The upper station lands you in the picturesque Cerro Concepcion, a key neighborhood full of cafes, murals, views over the port, and narrow cobblestone streets. The lower station is near the Turi clock. Don't forget your pesos, because it's about 100 Chilean pesos for the ride and worth every single one of them. Just super cool. What's the saying? One person's ordinary is another person's extraordinary. Yeah, that is so applicable on this national historic icon here in the city. Valparaiso is no stranger to disaster either. The city was devastated by earthquakes in 1906, which destroyed large swaths of its architecture and reshaped the city. More recently, in April 2014, a massive fire spread over the hills, destroying 2,500 homes and leaving 11,000 people homeless and killing 15. So the 1906 earthquake, the 1914 mass exodus after the Panama Canal opens, and then a massive fire 100 years later. It reveals how the spirit here is so strong. Every time it's leveled, it rebuilt into something richer and more connected. Look at this. This is Templeton Street. This mural was painted by the Art Plus Believe project. It's more than a slogan too. It's a manifesto. In a city rebuilt from chaos, the walls say, this is joy, this is expression, this is us. The locals band together even to continue it painted and keep the mural pristine. Even the hostel is colorful. Look at this. We followed the ants painted on the ground for one reason and one reason only, because ants mean sugar, and sugar equals yes, yes, and yes. The ants lead you directly to L.A. Dulceria, a little local handmade candy shop making small batch artisan candies in the Cerro Alegre neighborhood. And of course, we can't miss the piano on Beethoven Street. No name, no art, no story, just Beethoven and his piano, and now us. This is the 20th century Turi clock in the Chilean Naval Building in Plaza Sotomayor. This plaza will come in very, very, very important later, but we'll come back to that. We stopped for an incredible lunch with an incredible view, and at this little cafe, not for more food, but to take and leave a message for the world. So the idea is that you wrote your message on a little piece of paper, rolled it up, you took a message out, and then put your message in. Okay, los niños, the kids, sin felices. All right, we'll have to save it and see what it means later. So the one that I took out said, make children happy. As we walk through Valparaiso's steep alleys, ascend lifts, and peer over balconies, we feel something electric. This city just wants you to stumble, pause, and get lost. But before we leave and are back on flat land, we have one more stop. So remember Plaza Sotomayor, where the naval building was? Let me tell you about this plaza first. This is the heart of the city, or Barrio Puerto. The building in the back is the Chilean Naval Building. In contrast to seeing it this morning, there's now tents set up for a little outdoor market. This stop is so important because this stop, there was an artisan in one of the tents that had copper, and he made me a copper mug. Now you might say, okay, it's a copper mug, what's the big deal? I'm a Moscow Mule girl. And if you know anything about Moscow Mules, you need to know you have to drink it in a copper cup. The copper reacts to the vodka, and it's what makes it a mule, makes it a Moscow Mule. And that's what I drink. That's what I always drink. I have probably 4 copper cups at home from different places I've gotten them, but this one was handmade for me in Chile at our first stop in Chile, and it's so super special. I loved it. Had way too many Moscow Mules on board, and it now travels with me in our RV. So yeah, thank you, Chilean artisan, for making my Moscow Mule mug. I love it. So yes, hilly, beautiful, painted madness. That's Valparaiso. Loved it here and really understood why it's so special. Before we sailed away, we became a bit of a sightseeing expedition ourselves. One by one, the tour boats took their turn to see the ultimate world cruise in their port. Just another superb way to say goodbye to such a special port. So I would love to know if you've ever been to this city in Chile. What did you think of it? If you're a street art person or just love like quaint, sweet, colorful little cities, this one is for you. I would love to hear about it in the comments. Don't forget to put your comments below. I love sharing this journey with you, and I love hearing where you've been and what you've experienced. And maybe you haven't been here, but you've been somewhere similar to here. Just tell me your story, put it in the comments. I love them. Next up is our second of 3 stops in Chile. This one is in Coquimbo, Chile. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that stop. And until Coquimbo, bye for now.